Hey everyone, it's Lisa from the blog farmhouseonboone.com, and today I'm going to share with you my 5 favorite meals to make whenever you come home, if you've been out and about all day, or you're just home and you forgot to plan and you have nothing set out, no meat thawed, but you just have a few pantry staples on hand, what I make. So my 5 favorite meals for those situations. I'm calling this my 5 favorite fast food meals, but not everything on here is actually super fast. Now some of them are, but what I meant more than anything is those in a pinch moments where you don't have anything planned, no meat thawed, just nothing ready, you haven't thought about dinner at all, and it's 5:30 and you need to get something on the table. That's what these are for. So for this particular situation, I keep several things on hand so that I always have something ready. These things include eggs, so many eggs. Just last weekend, I picked up a co-op order and I always put 15 dozen eggs on my list. Now, we do have chickens, but we do eat a lot of eggs. Eggs is a super simple protein that it's always available. You don't have to worry if it's, it doesn't have to be thawed out. It's always ready to go and everyone can enjoy it. You can also make it into so many different things. Rice, beans, canned salmon, tuna, chicken, things like that. I actually don't really keep canned chicken on hand, but that would be something that would also serve you. Sourdough starter, lots of it. A large container of sourdough starter is necessary for a lot of these items. Cheese, organic pasta sauce, frozen veggies, potatoes, root vegetables, like carrot, sweet potato, butternut squash, butter, flour. If you have those on hand, you can make any of these meals. I also like to add to that, if you do have a wheat mill, keeping like a 50-pound bag of whole grains is great because you can always have flour. So if you run out of flour, you have that. But I encourage you that if you're a from scratch cook, don't be afraid to buy a lot of these types of items in bulk. Things like root vegetables, they don't go bad. Canned items, dried things, they don't go bad. Unbleached all-purpose flour. If you stock them up and you have a lot of them, I am comfortable keeping that kind of inventory because I know that that will be what keeps me from going out to eat or feeling like I don't have anything to offer, because I do always have all of those. And I can tell you, we are a family that does not waste food. We eat leftovers, we eventually get through all of our storage, and then we just make sure to stock up again so that I'm never caught without food. So the first one on the list is pizza. I like to keep a big old jar of sourdough starter out on my counter, keep it fed, so that I can do things like pizza. All it takes is a couple of preheated cast iron skillets, some starter, olive oil, salt, maybe some herbs if you have it, cheese. I keep a lot of cheese in the fridge. Cheese does not go bad for a really long time. Next time you get cheese, look at the expiration date. It's far away, so you can stock up on it. Don't be afraid to buy 10 packs of cheese if your family isn't sensitive to that. Organic pasta sauce, again, I keep a lot of that on hand for this. And then with the pizza, you can just throw anything you have in the refrigerator. So if you have leftover ground beef or chicken, you could do like a chicken and barbecue pizza, or if it's summer, you could throw some fresh veggies on, or if it's spring, maybe some arugula from the garden. I like that. It's a staple thing to make that you can just swap out whatever you currently have so that it's always just really easy to make. Whenever I made it this week, all we had was onions and mushrooms, so there's no meat on it. Sometimes I even make it into a breakfast pizza. So for that, you can just throw on a couple of fried eggs, just make a crust, add some cheese. If you have sausage, you can make a sausage gravy or just skip the sauce altogether. Throw on some fried eggs and some sausage or bacon. Really good, protein rich. You can have it any time of day. Perfect. The next thing on the list is breakfast for dinner. Again, sourdough starter there. You can just make some sourdough starter pancakes by doing 2 cups of starter, 2 eggs, coconut oil, honey, baking soda, salt, and serve it with some eggs. That one actually is super fast as well. The third one on my list is salmon patties. I keep canned salmon on hand for this because it's so easy. You just take some salmon, add onions, eggs, either flour or leftover sourdough breadcrumbs. Even coconut flour works to bind it together. Arrowroot powder also works. Fry it in a little bit of coconut oil. If you have potatoes, serve it with that, or maybe some sliced carrots or steamed carrots. Any of your frozen vegetables, steam those, and you're gonna have a quick meal. The next thing on the list is sourdough skillet with either no meat at all, maybe some beans or something like that, or frozen ground beef. So this is the one meat, I mean, you could also cook chicken from frozen in your Instant Pot, but ground beef, you can cook from frozen. I just add a little bit of water to my cast iron skillet, put in the big old block of frozen meat, add a lid, and just let the water kind of boil it until it's defrosted. And then I just cook it from there, add some garlic and onion, and then all the rest of the ingredients of my sourdough skillet, the sourdough skillet topping, and bake it. So again, versatile, you can add whatever vegetables you have in your fridge. You don't have to have anything particular for this. If all you have is meat, starter, cheese, and maybe some carrots and potatoes, you're good to go. Another thing that I can almost always whip up, no matter how long it's been since I've been to the grocery store, is a quiche. You can do a crustless quiche just by mixing up some eggs and cream or milk, whatever veggies you have, and cheese. Or if you keep a lot of flour on hand, like I do, I never run out of flour. I was the one during the beginning of this pandemic who was able to make it through the entire time because I stocked so much flour and wheat. It's just the foundation for so many meals. You can make tortillas with it. You can make a crust for a pie or a pot pie or a quiche. You can make bread, you can make rolls. It can really stretch a meal, especially if you're maintaining a sourdough starter. But for the quiche, I like to make my einkorn pie crust or my sourdough crust. Usually if it's last minute and I haven't thought things through, it's almost always an einkorn. It's not fermented because I didn't have time. And then whatever cheese I have, whether it's cheddar or mozzarella, whatever veggies, and then of course, lots of eggs from our huge stock of eggs in the refrigerator. I wrote honorable mention on here because I didn't want to make it 6 ideas because it just doesn't sound right, but one of our favorite go-to meals for when we have nothing planned is our continental dinner, or you've heard of a continental breakfast. It's kind of like that. You just get out all of the cold things you have in your fridge that are rich in protein and serve it up. So hard-boiled eggs, sliced cheese, maybe some sliced raw carrots, maybe avocado or some sourdough crackers if you have that, or you can make up some sourdough crackers really quickly with your starter. It's almost like a charcuterie board, and it's a really good one, especially in the summer, just to get out quickly. People can snack on it and then have a heavier dinner. All right, well, I hope that you enjoyed seeing my 5 favorite fast food meals and how we can get dinner on the table that is pretty darn healthy, even with no pre-planning, and that it inspires you if you are in a rut and you just don't feel like you ever have it together enough to make dinner. Going out to eat is fun, and I do enjoy it on occasion as well, but if you are looking after your health and your budget, it doesn't have to be super hard to get at least some good protein-filled, healthy food on the table. All right, thank you so much for watching this video. If you are brand new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I make 2 new videos every week on food from scratch, natural living in a handmade home. Thank you so much for stopping by the farmhouse.